Trump had essentially handpicked a Walker for the Georgia Senate run, and now many are saying because of the election result, it's a sign to the Republicans that they can't win in 2024 with Trump on the ballot. What is your take? What is the read across to 2024?
So I'd say taking a look at that, I see why some people are saying that. It is one more spot of evidence that maybe Trump is not the golden ticket that one perceived him to have been in the past. But by that same token, I would be hesitant to count out the former president, particularly with the dynamics that are at play in the Republican process. So that if you have a really big field of Republican candidates come 2024, don't count former President Trump out because, again, he never won a majority of any of the states until I think we got to New York, which was about the 33rd state during the primary season. So if it's a large field, don't count him out. On the other hand, if it's just, perhaps two or three Republican candidates on the stage, then he's in a weakened position, in my opinion.
Well, it seems as though one of his key competitors, if not the front runner to counter him, is Ron DeSantis from Florida. From an investment perspective, how do you think about investing if he is the one who ultimately is on the ballot in 2024?
Again, I don't think that's going to make a huge change from an investment perspective. If we were to wind the clock back about 6 years, one of the things that was different in that particular scenario was you had President Trump coming into office, but he had Republican majorities. And so we looked there and you could, have made a bet that, hey, listen, there's going to be some tax law changes. And so we had the Tax Cut and Jobs Act 2017 here. And so, yes, we made lots of adjustments then. Other work with clients in terms of capital gains, real estate assets, and those sorts of things. So if you've got someone like a Ron DeSantis come in and the ingredients are there for Republicans to take control of the Senate and expand their control of the House, then we might be looking to make some changes just because of the anticipated legislation that might come out of controlled government by one party versus divided government like we have now.
Lee, let's turn to the U.S. economy. Just before you came on, we played a series of clips of various CEOs of big American companies that our colleagues over in the U.S. spoke to. And there are disparate views out there over the health of the U.S. economy, namely because so far U.S. consumer spending has held up pretty well, but the outlook is that that is not going to continue. What is your view on, again, whether or not the Fed can engineer this hard landing versus soft landing, whether the U.S. can actually skirt a recession, and whether you think 2023 will actually turn out to be a year of positive growth?
And so if you ask me to make a bet on it, I wouldn't be at all surprised that there's a mild recession here in the U.S. next year. Best case scenario, I see a slowdown. But let's call it a little more than 50% that there's at least a mild recession if it hasn't begun already. I'm in agreement that the consumer spending cannot continue. We're starting to see signs that, credit card balances are tipping up. That having been said, the consumer has not slowed down yet, but there's going to become a point where the credit card balances get high enough and things are going to slow down. We're also starting to see some softening in automobile prices. One of the big components of inflation here early on was with auto prices. And we're starting to see those come back to earth, not, in a significant way and not terribly fast, but they are starting to come back some. And we're also starting to see some softening in individual real estate. Don't think there's going to be an out and out correction. But things are softening some, and I think that's a combination of inflation and interest rates being higher. So the amount of house that somebody could have purchased on January 1st of this year is significantly different than they can now.
Right.
And wages have not gone up enough to compensate for the additional housing price.